Hello, I'm Joe Fury. I'm a magician. I am the new Jared Leto. Leto 2.0. Take that, Jared. Maybe you need some crepe erase. Crepe erase. Crepe erase. It's a beautiful product.
Okay, everybody, here we are. It's, apparently Joe Fury is the new Jared Leto. I didn't hear that until today. It was like a new announcement. Apparently he's Jared Leto 2.0. It's a startling announcement. I didn't know he was going to announce it on the show. Let's see who's here. Spy14Y, hey broski. Good to see ya. So for Spy 14, this is a show where we don't talk about all the crap that's going on in the world, because you've got plenty of venues where you can find out about the news and about all the horrible stuff that's going on in the world. So we're gonna take a moment here, half an hour or so, just have fun. There's Ganell. I think it worked. Joe's face doesn't seem to have crepes on it. Yeah, it's really working quite well. There are no crepes of any kind, the French kind, no crepey skin. All right, so we're gonna take in 3 breaths here, and we go in through the nose and out through the toes, and this is the way we relax and stay healthy. Here we go. Take it on in. I got the rooster shirt on today. Here comes the rooster. Let it out. That feels pretty good. Here we go. Bring it on in again. Hold it. Let it out. Big show today. We're going to do some interesting things. We've got Gini Sikes is going to be on the show. Author Gini Sikes, comedian Gini Sikes. We're going to talk about ducks. We've got her waiting in the green room with Joe Fury's in there and Boney's in there. They're having a good old time. I think they were playing Words with Friends. I'm not sure. But anyway, let's take in one more deep breath. In through the nose, out through the toes. Let it out. And if you happen to hear Ginny talk in the middle of the show, it's because she's just hanging out, just waiting. So, and our green room doesn't have a very thick wall, so you might be able to hear her. So, the first thing that I want to show you is someone sent me something. I think it's Sue Pascal, and it goes in line with what we have today, which is a show about ducks and birds. And this is some surfing swans. Here it is. I don't know if it's real. Is this real? Maybe some of you know. Are those, what kind of swans are those? Are they geese? What's the difference between swans and geese? I don't know. It's pretty cool. I've seen dolphins surfing before, or riding behind the wake. Those geese seem, I don't know, maybe they're pet geese. Pet geese? I don't know, maybe somebody knows the details about that. We can talk to Gini Sikes about that. We're doing some things today that are kind of pushing the envelope for the show. We haven't done really before. We're going to do some remote, we're going to have a remote correspondent. And just one more, I just want to take a look at a couple more things before I bring Ginny on. And this is something that I found that I thought you might enjoy. It's they're hyper real cakes. I don't understand really the point of this. So this looks like a bouquet of flowers. This is not as hyper real as it gets. Sometimes they look like that looks like a bowl of fruit. I'm not sure why they're wearing a black glove. No one knows that. This looks like a banana, but whoa, it's a cake. There's a real art to this. This is great. It's a shoe. Now, the guy has a lot of tattoos on his hand, and I just want to point out that there was a cake that looked like his hand that was right around here, and it looks so much like his hand that I knew that the hummingbirds might be a little bit distressed when he cuts into his hand. So I cut that out. But you can watch it on the Satisfying Cake Cutting video, Hyper Realistic Illusion Cakes. That's a giant pepper. Log. I don't know. Do you guys find this relaxing? Let's see what Sven says. Oh, they look like black swans. Black Australian swans. It's good to have bird experts on the show. You know, we got Jenny here, so I think we'll find out more about that. This isn't even cakes. This is just another satisfying, weird, I don't know. I mean, that's an art. That's a real art. So it is Amusement Park week, and we're exploring different amusement parks. And yesterday we explored some roller coasters. And some of you were scared. I don't know how many of you were nauseous, but some of us get nauseous from those things. So I'm going to start us out today with another roller coaster, few roller coasters. We had one sent in from one of our viewers. Yeah, that's the kind of show this is, where we actually have viewers that send in their roller coasters. So yeah, yesterday we had Dan on. I like that white flower. Wasn't that cool? It was pretty cool. I don't quite, some of the things I show on the show, I don't really understand what they are. Maybe that's a problem. But I'm not sure whether that was a cake or like some clay. But let's get to the roller coasters. All right, Voodoo. There he is. Yeah, good to see you, Voodoo Dan. Voodoo Dan is he's an amusement park designer. And we're gonna look at one of his rides that he worked on, and we're gonna look later on tomorrow maybe at something more in-depth about Voodoo Dan. Voodoo Dan is a longtime viewer of the show, and yesterday he just was like, hey, look, here's my roller coaster. So the first thing we're gonna do though is we're gonna take a look at this, because this is super relaxing, and that's one of the goals of the show. And I'm not relaxed at all, because I'm doing this Zoom interview with Ginny, and Ginny she's a very high-powered professional, so I got to chill out a little bit. And this is how I'm going to do it, from these beautiful waves. This is making me feel better already. So sometimes when I'm stressed out during the day, I will go to one of these sites like Slow TV Relax in Background, which is a channel on YouTube. I'm not affiliated with them at all, but they sure are good at coming up with these really long videos to just help you breathe and relax and settle down. I love that. I love it when they show above the water, below the water, above the water, below the water. Just bobbing out there. Some of us, you know, a lot of us are like, I can't go to the beach. I gotta go to the beach. What am I gonna do? I can't go to the beach. You can do this. Canal can never tell what's gonna come out of Ginny's mouth. That's the great thing about Ginny, is we have no idea what she's gonna say. But she's in there in the green room, and I'm gonna bring her on out here pretty soon. But first, we're gonna look at Dan's roller coaster. So this is Dan, Voodoo Dan 23. We don't use any names on this show, just handles. Unless, of course, he wants to. Mike Hansen. roller coaster time. Check it out. So this is the Spider-Man Doc Ock's Revenge spinning roller coaster from IMG Worlds in Dubai. Dan, I'm going to say his name, Dan Reed. Dan Reed, one of our viewers. He made this roller coaster. He's a designer of things extraordinaire. He actually designs, the Super Bowl, when they have a performance in the Super Bowl, he does all the way over. So Prince, Super Bowl, poured down rain. That was That's not a roller coaster, that's a puke inducer. Yeah, something about it, having it spin while you're riding it, is definitely the kind of thing that would make me a bit nauseous. Perhaps. Let's just see a little bit. I think they have a point of view of it spinning. Here we go. Let's see. Yeah, there's where we ride it and we just spin. This is where it goes. Let's see what Dan says here. I had to ride this like 6 times the last time I was there. Yep, it's a vomit inducer. So there's that. I'm gonna pop myself on the screen here. I don't know why I'm not here. I'm here in the Trash Pandas comedy room, and let's see what else we got here. Oh, okay. World's fastest roller coaster. There it is. This is also in Dubai. But no, this is in Abu Dhabi. It's the Formula Rossa. I think it's at Ferrari World. This is the one has water in it. Everybody gets wet.
And now we're gonna splash.
So this is the point of view here.
200-mile-an-hour splash.
That's where you get kind of wet.
Oh my God!
The boat is filled with water. I like the way the guy's kind of screaming. Hold on, let me see if I can get a better.
It's like being right
So
between.
this is what happens is, you ride up to the thing. You ride up to it.
Oh gosh,
and
look
then
at that.
It takes you
It's
up
like
in an
500
elevator.
feet tall.
There's a guy
There.
narrating this thing too, which is cool.
It's like being right between its legs.
So there he goes. He's going on up. Okay.
Oh
Finally had
crap!
some friends riding my ride. Thank you.
Oh,
That was fun.
Look at it down there. And here we go. We're almost at the top.
Okay, so here we go.
This is terrifying.
I'm closing my eyes.
Are you closing your eyes? All right. All right, guys. Here comes the oh crap moment.
This guy
Here we
is
go.
like a great
Oh
narrator.
crap!
So that's the part where you don't get that one.
Woo! Oh my God! We're traveling at speeds of over 300 miles
tells
an
you all.
hour.
Walks you through the whole thing.
We just came down an 870-foot drop, and now we're gonna splash 200-mile-an-hour splash. Oh my God!
I am not going on that ride. Not going on that ride. Just so y'all know. It's not happening. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time now. He's still talking. It's time now to bring on Gini Sikes. As previously promised, we have the comedian Gini Sikes. She also wrote the book 8 Ball Chicks. She's a comedian here in Los Angeles. And we wanted to find out about ducks and do ducks make good pets? That's the name of the show. Do ducks make good pets? And more on anything to do with ducks. We've got Kate Alexi here. It'd be funny to hear him during sex. That's that guy. Yeah, that sounds like a good bit, Cade. Cade's a comedian, somebody who's a sports announcer having sex. I think it's good. Anyway, so here we go. I'm bringing on Jenny. Let's see what kind of it's a disaster. She got kicked off Zoom. So let's take a look here. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to move to Zoom now, even though Jenny got kicked off. We can look at her portrait there and wait for her to come back. Yeah, it might be a while because this is the thing about live comedy is you just never know. You never know what's going to happen. And this was the risk that we took when we decided to go live with Gini Sikes. Let's see. Yeah. Ganell says, uh-oh. And Zoom booted. All right, well, we still have the Zoom thing happening. So that's okay because I have some things waiting in the wings for just this possibility. And one of them is to watch. So yesterday we talked about Bugs Bunny and working at Magic Mountain. And so here we are in the comedy room. Maybe when Ginny comes back to the Zoom room, she could tell me. Here she is again. She's out there. She's out there somewhere, just not with us. She's trying, but it's not letting me in. Yep. You know, when we started this show, I had Spectrum Internet, and it was horrible. And I had a lot of situations like this where, didn't know what to do because I didn't even know if I was broadcasting out. Now we solved that problem. Now we're moving on to the next thing, which is live interviews. And this is the first real one. So we're back in the Trash Pandas comedy room until Ginny possibly comes back. So let's go back to what we were talking about before, which is I'm working at Magic Mountain. And I finally got the job as Bugs Bunny. And what it is to be Bugs Bunny at Magic Mountain is you wear a fur suit in 105-degree weather. And not only that, but you dance around and participate in all kinds of things. Here's an example that I found on the internet of Bugs Bunny. Here he is in... He's in... I don't know where this is, Georgia? He's one of the better Bugs Bunnies out there.
Yes!
Let's see what Mike counts in this scene. Let's talk about why you're wearing a Steelers hat. We will talk about that. And then, so he's pretty good dancer.
He probably is too.
Here also is a panda dancing.
You get it,
Not this guy, but
look at Panda. You better go ahead,
well.
You better go ahead now. What?
I like the commentary on this too.
All right, y'all. Woo! Get it, Panda. You better go ahead now. Oh, get okay, what? Go ahead.
All right, I'm back. And the question is, why am I wearing a Steelers hat? It's a good question. Because I'm such a huge Seahawks fan. Why would I be wearing a Steelers hat? Well, I'll tell you, because all of my relatives, they come from Pittsburgh. When I was a kid, that's where we vacationed, was Pittsburgh. It's the Pittsburgh third eye, right? We need to get some I got some Seahawks gear. I'll wear it. I wear it all the time. I wear it all the time here on the show. But I do need some Kraken gear. Kraken is the new hockey team in Seattle. And everybody, it's a great name, and we all picked it. I think I picked it. They had other choices, Sasquatch, that kind of thing. But anyway, so when I was a kid, all the other kids in Edmonds, Washington, when they went on vacation, they would go to, say, like Cabo or something, or Colorado, or they go skiing. They have these incredible vacations, and I'm sure you've seen me as Bugs Bunny. Yes. So anyway, so they would always go on these fantastic vacations, and my relatives live in Pittsburgh, so we always went to Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh was like a different world, it was totally different from Edmonds, Washington. It was like going back in time. It was like going to, like an old picture of a city. You just walk into it, and that's the way this way it was going to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh then was like Cuba. No one ever went there, and no one ever left. That was the way Pittsburgh was, and they had their own language. They had English, but they would say things like chimley, or like instead of cleaning up your room, they'd say red up your room. So, it's almost like you needed like a little manual. And they'd say stuff like, I'm going downtown to see the Stillers. And the Stillers, was the local football team. And that was like, very, very important. And, excuses. I summered in Iowa, but I don't wear a John Deere hat. I knew I would get shit for wearing a Steelers hat. I knew I would. It's funny because I have like 15 Seahawks hats. But one day I wear a Steelers hat, Hanson's all over me. So anyway, we would go to Pittsburgh, and they'd say things like, "You just want to go downtown to the John Eagle and get some jumbo in that?" And I'd be like, I don't even know what you're talking about. But that's like in the South, when someone says, "Would y'all like to sit on the porch and have some sweet tea?" It's a very friendly thing, even though, you just want to go downtown to the John Eagle and get some jumbo in that? It sounds almost hostile to a little boy from Edmonds, but it's actually very, very welcoming. And they're very warm, wonderful people in Pittsburgh. There weren't a lot of things in Pittsburgh to do back then. We would go downtown. That's what they say, downtown. And back then there was like an old jail down there. That's down there. That's what they say too. Down there. Going down there to see the Stillers. I gotta get some laughs going on here. Pretty hilarious. Ginny says that she's on. All right, let's see. Let's take a look. I'm not sure I believe her. It doesn't look like she's on. Ginny, I can't see your face or hear you. I have to let her in. All right, let me let her in. No one knows. No one knows how we do this. This is a real behind the scenes kind of day. I'm going to allow her in the room here. She just disappeared. That's the way Ginny is. She's very elusive. That's the way these big celebrities are. It's weird because she's in there twice and not in there at all at the same time. She's there. Her face is there. Her name is there. And now I kind of hear her. I hear somebody. This is a disaster. Kind of like I thought it would be. An absolute disaster. I actually hear her watching the show, and it's delayed. So now I actually hear myself. Yeah, I can hear you, and I can hear the show too. Can you turn that down? No video. It's fun. The thing is, I got Ginny on the show because she's a computer genius. Do you hear me? Do you guys hear me? This is weird. We're like in a weird... She ducked out. Duck tastes so good. I'm showing some comments on the screen right now, just kind of vamping. Ginny is a paradox. Ginny just got genied. Okay, I'm going to give it like a few like a couple more minutes, then I'm just going to go back to my Tales of Pittsburgh. Ginny, are you there? Okay, I think we're going to have to call this, and go back to the trash pandas. All right, we're back at the trash pandas. Thanks, Ginny, for joining us today. We'll try it again sometime. So I'd go to Pittsburgh. We'd go downtown. This is a day about Pittsburgh, I guess. So we go downtown to see the whatever was down there. But at the time, there was really just an old jail. It looked like something from Game of Thrones or something. It was just this old stone jail, and you could see people, the jailbirds with their hands sticking out. Mike, I mean, to be, completely clear, there were no Seahawks when I was going downtown. So I'm going downtown. Guys got the jailbirds would have their hands outside the windows, and they'd be like smoking a cigarette, and they'd yell down to me, "Can you get me an iron? Can you get me an iron? Arr!" They were like pirates. They were like the Pirates. That's probably why they named the baseball team that. They're like pirates. They're like, "Can you get me an iron?" And I'd say to my grandma, "Grandma, the guy wants an iron. I think he wants to iron his shirt or something." And she'd be like, "No, he just wants a beer. Just get him a beer." And we'd go to the local store. We'd get him an Iron City beer. It wasn't really something we did in Edmonds. Get the jailbirds the beer. But anyway, so then we'd do that, and then they had a train, but it was like one car, and it would go up a hill. And at the top of the hill, at the very top of the hill, I mean, it went way up, just click, 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 click. And at the very top of the hill was just more Pittsburgh. You'd think there'd be a restaurant up there or something. There was a place where you could buy a pop and some jumbo, which is their word for bologna. So you get a pop and, some jumbo, and then you go back, then you just ride back down. And that was pretty much it. My uncle at the time used to drive with 2 feet, 1 foot on the brake and 1 foot on the gas. He was like a great uncle of mine. And finally, they just let me drive. So, I drive in Pittsburgh. So when I came back to school in Edmonds, Washington, they'd have show and tell, and everybody would get up and say, tell about their travels. And I'd be wearing clothes that my parents bought me in Pittsburgh, which, it was like the 50s there. So they were like 20 years in the past. And so they were pants that came up here, and there'd be like a fedora and some, like a bolo tie. And I'd get up there and I'd be like, we went to Pittsburgh. In Pittsburgh, they got a train that goes up into the sky. They've got, pirates that yell down and give me an iron. I try to make it exciting. I try to make it really exciting. I'd be like, kids can drive there. Kids can drive. And I'd be like, "Arr, Pittsburgh." And the kids would be just like, they were kind of into it. I got my pitch for Pittsburgh was pretty good. So good that one of the kids actually talked his parents into going there for a vacation. Never saw them again. There was one time we didn't go to Pittsburgh. We went to Europe. Yeah. When I was a little kid, my dad was an artist, so he got some kind of grant, and we all went over to Europe, which, was weird because you went around looking at stuff and people were like, "There's the Mona Lisa, there it is." And you're like, never heard of it. There's the Venus de Milo. You're like, I don't know. But they did have this incredible place. This is bringing it back to Amusement Park week. Is they have this place called Legoland, and it was in Denmark. Now they have them here in the United States. They have one in California, but didn't have this anywhere. There's only one. So we went to Legoland, and in Legoland they had like all this stuff made out of Legos. Like they had a giant Taj Mahal made out of Legos, or entire cities with boats and all that made out of Legos. You could get into a car, a Lego car, and just drive around. And they had people up in a tower, going, drive on the right side of the street, idiots. Just yelling at us kids because we don't know how to drive. But they let us drive for some reason. They just drive these cars. So I came back to Edmonds, and I went in. It was at Sherwood Elementary. I went up there, and I pulled my pants up, put my fedora down. I was like, hey, I went to this place called Europe. And in Europe, they have this place where it's just all Legos. They have entire villages made out of Legos. They have a giant Taj Mahal. You can drive a car. You can drive a Lego car. And they didn't believe me. They didn't believe me. So much so that as I was telling the story, I started to think, maybe that didn't happen. Maybe I got like a mental problem. And I started to get really kind of unsure of myself and panicked. I started like sweating. And eventually I just kind of stopped talking completely. It was like the time that I heard about the two-headed snake that at the Woodland Park Zoo, they had the two-headed snake. And I went in and I told everybody there's a two-headed snake. And apparently that day, the two-headed snake had died. So people were like, you're lying. There's no such thing as a two-headed snake. Back then, you couldn't Google it or anything. People thought I was a liar. Okay, so let's see what's going on in the chat room. Remember, Mike Hansen, they stole the Super Bowl from us. Really? I saw that Super Bowl. I don't know. I don't think the Seahawks showed up that time. Booted out again. Let's just see. I saw something from Todd Lee here. Hi, I'm late. Did you just say you used to take beer to your grandpa in jail? He's the pirate. Yeah. Next time you see my mom, tell her that. Hey, Joel says that he used to take beer to your grandpa in jail. So they say you can judge a town by Saturday night festivities. How is Saturday night in Pittsburgh? It's a good question. Well, you go down to the jailhouse, have a few Iron Cities. Todd, you've missed so much. I know. There's a lot going on today. Legoland. Yeah. Have you been there, Greg? Let's see. Good Lord. I have heard the story of Legoland so many times. I feel like I was there. Probably from my brother. My brother's always talking about it. You're definitely the best when you're telling stories off the cuff. Well, thank you, Mike Hansen. Appreciate that. Because today for me was kind of difficult, but fun nonetheless. Because that's what's great about a live show is you're just winging it sometimes. And I knew that the technical would be kind of tough. So, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it on Friday. I'm going to have a guest. I don't know if you haven't seen episode 99 of Lunch Therapy, please go back and check it out because especially at the end, towards the end, because things got wacky on that show. Somebody flashed us. I got kind of lost. There was we were showing Big Macs and then we started talking about tricks and how tricks are for kids. Was a watershed moment in David's life. It was Legoland. So things went crazy with episode 99. And at the end, I was just like, screw it. I'm going to show this video where the tricks rabbit takes revenge on the kids. And he comes in the kitchen and the kids are there. And, it's been decades of him going, of them going, tricks are for kids, and just pushing him in the face. And he comes in and he's like, it's the last straw. He comes in and they're like, tricks are for kids. And they're just eating it. And he's like, but I want some. And I'm on the box. And then he just gets pissed. And he walks over to one of the kids and he puts his fist right in the bowl. And he says, there's a hair in your bowl. And the kid, right then, he knows something's in trouble. And then he just goes off. He like punches the kids and he pulls out a gun. It's intense. So I, thought I got to get this guy on the show. Who made this video. He's actually made a lot of cool stuff. His name's Seth Ward. I invite you to look at his YouTube channel. We're going to bring him on live. I got to make sure that I got some Pittsburgh stories to tell in case it doesn't work. Let's see what's going on in the chat room. Todd, Rodo, live feed no bueno. Yeah, didn't work. Yeah. It's all good. You persevered. That's the thing. We persevere. We play through, as it were. I wanted to hear duck stories. We're going to hear it. I might have to pre-tape it with Jenny because her internet's not so good, apparently. Did you explain the rooster shirt? Is it from Pittsburgh? Well, I'll tell you. This was going to be part of the conversation with Ginny. Ginny and I spent some time in India together, and we went to a bazaar, I think, and I got this shirt there. I mean, the second I saw it, I was like, that is an awesome rooster shirt. I got this in India. Here comes the rooster. It says "Y." In the corner, it actually says "Y." I'm not sure why, but to me, it's like I love that song. Here Comes the Rooster by Alice in Chains. Yeah. Also, Edmonds District 15 graduate, Lane Staley. Anyway, so I just love this shirt. Ginny had a duck shirt that she also got in India at the same place. We were going to talk about it, but you make plans and God laughs. Did you make any more cookies? Oh, don't even remind me of the cookie fiasco. Mike, that's quite a large rooster you have there. Yeah, that was the thing is in episode 99, somebody started asking me, what the hell? We're in the Trash Pandas thing. He was like, show us your cock. And I was like, yeah, we're going to talk about ducks later on. And then they were like, we'll give you money. And then what happened eventually, somebody flashed their own picture. Best export from Pittsburgh, Panini Brothers sandwich. Yes. I don't even know if you can get them outside of Pittsburgh though. Can you? Otherwise known. Yes. You can't wear a big, huge rooster on your shirt without people making cock jokes. All right, so it's the end. We've reached the end. Ginny's still here. She's still here in spirit. Ducks are so much funnier than chickens. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. I promised that Todd, what the hell? Since this is, this show is like unhinged. This is one of those unhinged shows. I'm going to tell this joke that Todd texted me yesterday. I'll see if I can do it justice. Not my joke. So, and I'm not sure, I'm going to say they were penguins. So these two penguins, I'm not sure if they were penguins, but okay. Two penguins. They're in Vancouver, Canada, and their car broke down. They got it towed to a mechanic. And the mechanic's like, well, I'm going to have to take a look at this thing. Can you come back in an hour? And they're like, okay. So they're penguins. They're walking around Vancouver. They're looking at, they go into some thrift stores and they're just doing the usual Vancouver thing. They're like, wow, it rains a lot here. Kind of like it. And then, they're like, oh, it's time to go back to the mechanic. And one of the penguins says, I just want to stop in here and get an ice cream cone. Is that okay? And so the other one says, yeah. So they walk into the ice cream store and he gets a big vanilla cone and he's just eating it. He's got it all over his face. And they waddle, I guess, back to the mechanic. And they say, okay, we're here. And he's still eating this ice cream. He's got it all over his face. And the mechanic says, well, I looked at your car and looks like you blew a seal. I did my best. I'm going to have to try it another time. Oh, it is penguins. Good. Walrus mechanic. Oh, the mechanic is a walrus. Gini Sikes, by total size or in relation to the animal? Oh, I see. I'm like, what does that mean? Oh, that's what it means. All right, so it's really getting into the gutter now. So I'm going to move us on to the dance break, and we're going to get out of here. It's been a fun show. Thanks, everybody, for being here through this fiasco. I'm going to show us some whales here. I'm also having camera fiascos, so you get to see how the what do they say? How the donuts are made. How the donuts are made. It's a real behind-the-scenes kind of show, sometimes. I wanted to have killer whales, so I have them. Dance break. Guitar player again. And I'm going to move us in there. This guy's a fantastic guitar player, and he's walking between shipping containers. And I'm just going to show a little bit of it because I want you to go to his YouTube channel and explore that and, buy his records if he's got them. But here he is. Dance break time. Of course, this guy, it escalates. It's the thing with when you tell a story like this, you gotta escalate it. It starts out with just pretty simple, but what's going on here? He's walking between shipping containers. There's some guy in the corner just talking away while the guy's playing. I bet this guy is stealing from me. Xylophone just sitting here. This guy's incredible. I'm gonna have to go though. Thanks for joining us here today on Lunch Therapy, where anything can happen, and it usually does.